Hello all, welcome to Abhiram Ias Academy. Let us go through the daily chronicles of January 30, 2025. So today we are going to discuss about critical minerals. The cabinet has actually approved 34,300 crore critical mineral mission. So this article appeared in page 4 of Business Standard. So we are going to see everything about critical minerals. It is important for your GS3 paper, Indian economy, subtopic energy security. So what are critical minerals? These are nothing but essential raw materials in some key industries, especially the high-end technological industries. It can be in different sectors like space, aero industry, and also e-vehicles. All such industries need critical raw materials. And why are they called as critical minerals? Because they have no other substitutes. So there are no viable substitutions, and also they are limited at a global level. They are concentrated only in few countries. So there is a chance of supply chain disruption. So any kind of geopolitical conflicts may also lead to sudden disruption in the supply chain, which will impact all the industries like this. And globally, there are 50 critical minerals as per the US Geological Survey. So, but India has identified 30 critical minerals, out of which one component is rare earth elements. It includes all the 17 rare earth elements as one of the component in this list itself. So, in total, there are essentially 47 critical minerals in India. Let us go through some examples of these critical minerals. So, these are some popular critical minerals, We have lithium, cobalt, graphite, nickel, some rare earth elements, copper and platinum group of metals. So we all know lithium is popular for battery storage technology and all kinds of equipments needed for energy storage in electric vehicles. Then we also have nickel and cobalt are also used in this energy storage, battery storage technologies. Apart from this, lithium is also used in aerospace and pharmaceutical industry. Cobalt is also used in magnets, catalyst and any kind of aerospace alloys, and graphite is also used in steel production, battery anodes and also as a lubricant in some industries. Then nickel is used in stainless steel manufacturing, aerospace and also military industry. And rare earth elements, these are important for all the high-tech industries like EV motors. They are also used in wind turbines, they are used in military radars and your screen displays, the latest ones, and also lasers. So rare earth elements are used in all the latest technological industries. Then copper is also one critical mineral. It is used in electric wiring, power grids, solar panels and also in some construction projects. Platinum group is used in catalytic converters, hydrogen fuel cells. So you can understand the significance of the critical minerals by looking at their importance in all these industries, especially high-end technological industries. So let us go through the global overview of these critical minerals. We have discussed that they are concentrated in few countries. So, and how does countries secure these critical minerals then? Every country has need for these critical minerals. So they secure by partnering with the nations which has these reserves. So they undertake some strategic agreements or strategic partnerships with these reserve nations. So China is the dominant player. It has 85% of all the rare earth element refining and processing industries. It even has 80% of the tungsten. This is not just China but at a global level. That is 85% of the global rare earth elements are processed in China alone. And we also have Congo that dominates in the cobalt. 70% of world's cobalt comes from Congo alone, that is Democratic Republic of Congo, and Indonesia is a dominant player in nickel. 37% of the global nickel share is by Indonesia, and Chile, Argentina and Bolivia, these Latin American countries have lithium reserves, and 60% of the world's lithium reserves are in these three countries. Also, Russia is a major player, especially in nickel, vanadium and titanium supply chains. Russia has a major role. So what are the challenges in securing these critical minerals? Let us go through them. In context of India, we are heavily import dependent in these critical minerals. So India imports almost all of its critical minerals from abroad. That is 85 to 100% of the critical minerals are imported, especially lithium. We are 100% import dependent. Okay. As per the 2022 data, lithium has 100% import dependency, then cobalt has 85% dependency, and this is from Congo and China, whereas lithium we import it from Australia, Chile and China. And nickel is 90% import dependent, that is from Russia and Canada. We have understood that China is a dominant player in these critical minerals. What is the impact of this dominance? There are two impacts. One is on the supply side, another one is on demand side. Regarding the supply side, they can simply decide to stop exports, or they can simply decide to impose restrictions on their exports. So that will lead to global supply chain disruptions. That is one impact because of the supply side. What about the demand side then? So countries which are importing, that is where the demand is there, they will ensure to diversify the suppliers. So they will prefer to diversify the suppliers to reduce their dependence on the China. So these are two major impacts. And China has dominance in rare earth elements. We have seen 85% of the global processing is done in this country, and 65% of the global graphite production is also happening in China. We have seen that critical minerals are concentrated in very few countries. So it is prone to geopolitical conflicts and the supply chain disruptions arising because of these issues. So we can see examples like Russia-Ukraine war from 2022 has led to disruption in titanium and nickel supply chain. Okay. Similarly, any kind of trade war, that is there is a prospect of US-China trade war now, that can also lead to disruption because China can simply decide to restrict all its exports as a retaliatory measure. So it can impose export restrictions on its rare earth. It has already done it in 2023. Okay. It has restricted exporting gallium and germanium in 2023. The domestic country may simply decide to nationalize all its reserves, production and processing. So it can lead to the price escalation of these critical minerals. So South America, there is a discussion ongoing regarding the nationalization of these lithium reserves, especially in Chile and Bolivia. And Chile's lithium production also faces some problem because of the local protest due to the environmental concerns, because it has impact on indigenous water rights issue also, because all these extractions are heavily energy intensive and also water intensive. So one ton of lithium extraction needs 2.2 million liters of water. So it is heavily water intensive. It will have a bearing on the water scarcity in the domestic nations also. We can understand the impact of this supply chain disruption if we look at Tesla example in 2021. It has underwent some battery supply crisis because of lithium shortages. So that's how geopolitical conflicts may have impact on the supply chains. And also there are very few countries with all these reserves. So it means everyone wants these critical minerals, and there is heavy competition also at the global level. All the wealthier nations or advanced nations also want these critical minerals, and they will enter into favorable terms of long-term supply deals. Okay. So that is China, US, European Union, Japan have already entered long-term supply deals for some critical minerals. India lags in securing such international supply deals or mining rights. So we are lagging in that. We can see some global examples also. China has actually invested $16 billion in lithium mines in 2022, especially with Africa. Okay. It has secured mining rights over lithium reserves of African nations. And also we can see another example. US and Australia have entered an agreement on rare earth element supply in 2023. And also there are environmental and social concerns because mining has an impact on the local environment. Lithium extraction, we have seen, it requires 2.2 million liters of water for extracting 1 ton of lithium. So this is a Chile's case study. And even the rare earth element extraction leaves radioactive residues, okay, and lot of toxic waste. Okay. For example, in China, there is a province Baotao which has a toxic lake. its lake, that is Bautau Lake, is completely filled with all the toxic waste. So that is one environmental concern, and there will also be local protest, okay, and lot of bureaucratic delays also. In case of Vedanta bauxite mining, we can see that it was halted because of the protest by the locals in Odisha. And lithium mining in Karnataka is also delayed because it can lead to water scarcity in the region. So that's why locals have protested and it was delayed. There is also another problem, that is India lacks domestic exploration and also processing technology. First of all, there will be very less mineral reserves. Even if there are some reserves, the domestic extraction industry is not so strong. It needs advanced technology also, which is lacking right now in India. So we end up exporting the reserves also to China for all the processing requirements. So what are the identified reserves in India? In Jammu Kashmir in 2023, we have identified 5.9 million tons of lithium. And some rare earth elements are also found in Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And nickel and cobalt like critical minerals are found in Jharkhand, Nagaland, Odisha. So these are new findings. But we have some challenges. We have seen that there are no large-scale refining, especially for the rare earth elements, because they are energy intensive and also need advanced technologies for extraction, which is lacking in India. So India sends all these raw materials again to China for processing. Even we face a lot of bureaucratic hurdles also, because there is huge delay in the mining auctions, okay? And also the approval process is very complex. We can see that Vedanta has stalled its bauxite exploration because of these hurdles. So there are also cost and technological barriers. So there is high processing cost. To set up one refinery, especially for critical minerals, it needs at least half to $1 billion investment. So the processing costs are high. And then there is limited R&D in India. We have seen that we have only basic extraction technology, okay? And it also leaves lot of radioactive waste. For example, we are extracting minerals from monazite sands, but it leaves a byproduct, that is thorium byproduct, which is highly radioactive, and there are numerous restrictions because of the environmental concerns. We also lack advanced technologies like in China. They have ionic clay extraction. So ionic clay is something like low radioactive material which can be used for in situ extraction of some rare earth elements, which is lacking in India. They are also advanced in their solvent extraction technology. So we have said that we are lacking in advanced technology. They are nothing but ionic clay extraction, solvent extraction technology, and also the rare earth elements need high purity extraction technologies. That is your molten salt electrolysis and also metallothermic reduction. So these technologies are lacking in India. So ultimately, India will end up exporting all these rare earth elements, even if it has reserves, to China for processing. There are also some policy and regulatory gaps. That is, we don't have any kind of dedicated critical mineral policy till now. And the mining auction is also slow. And because it is highly energy intensive, capital intensive and also technological intensive, we need to grab in private sector in mining and refining. But right now, there are no incentives for the private sector also to enter the extraction industry. India also has high import duties on the critical minerals like lithium and battery components, which is acting as a disincentive for the private sector. Let us have a look at the current status of this critical mineral demand in India. So we are heavily import dependent, we have seen that, and different sectors need critical minerals. That can be your defense, electronics, okay, and all the e-vehicles, okay, space sector or aero sector, and also medical sector. So all these industries need critical minerals, okay. In defense, we can see that it is used in fighter jets, missiles and space technology, okay. And in electronics, we have schemes like FAME India and NEMMP, that is your faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles, and also NEMMP, that is nothing but National Electric Mobility Mission Plan. For renewable energy, we have set a target of 500 gigawatts by 2030, okay. And in medical field, we need critical minerals because they are used in MRI scanners and also some surgical instruments. So even in defense, for Atmanirbhar Bharat and overall energy security of India also, we need critical minerals. What is the future demand and supply strategy to be adopted by India? We have seen that the critical mineral demand will keep on increasing and it will triple by 2040. Okay, so we need to invest heavily and expand our exploratory operations by the Geological Survey of India. We also need to have strategic partnerships with the resource-rich nations. Okay, and our PLI scheme or the production linked incentive scheme will ensure there is a continuous demand for all these critical minerals. Okay, and we also need to invest heavily in the circular economy, that is recycling and urban mining. So what is urban mining? Urban mining is nothing but extraction of the materials or the critical minerals from the e-waste, okay, in the cities. So that is your urban mining and circular economy. Already some prominent players are there in this field. One is Tata Chemicals, okay, and another is Loham Cleantech. Companies like these need to be encouraged by government to expand their operations. So what is the future roadmap to be followed by India? We have seen that we are lacking in reserves, and even if there are reserves, we don't have the technology, and private sector also need to be encouraged. So first of all, we need to secure some reserves on a long-term basis, just like other countries, that is US, Japan, they have entered into long-term supply contracts. We need to secure such contracts also, and we need to reduce our import dependence by focusing on the domestic manufacturing, mining and refining industries. And we need to have strategic stockpile of essential minerals. Already US and China have such strategic stockpiles. Why do we need strategic stockpiles? Because they will ensure continuous supply, okay, continuous supply of some essential minerals to high-tech industries or the strategic industries like your space, okay, or defense, or any kind of military equipments may need these raw materials. So to ensure national and also energy security of the country, we need to have a strategic stockpile. We also need to boost the research and development in sustainable mining and recycling activities. National Critical Mineral Mission is about addressing all these challenges. It is expected to have a total allocation or expenditure of 16,300 crore, and this is the breakup of the expenditure. For domestic exploration, we have allocated 7,000 crores, and to cover for any kind of risk in foreign sourcing, we have allocated 4,000 crores. Okay, and also to support the exploration being conducted outside India, we have allocated 1,600 crore. So like that, these are the expenditure allocations. So this mission is mainly to secure the critical minerals for India's needs, okay, in both industrial and also all the strategic needs. So it is expected to have 34,000 crore expenditure by financial year 31, that is 2030-31. It is expected to have 34,000 crore expenditure, and it is implemented by Ministry of Mines. Okay, the main focus of this mission is to encourage exploration, mining, processing, and also indulge in some foreign acquisitions. So what is the financial outlay for this scheme? 16,300 crore is the total expenditure, out of which 2,600 crore will be the budgetary support. That is, the government of India will have this budgetary support. Then the 18,000 crore is expected to be coming from PSUs. Then it is mainly to support the exploration, mining and technological advantages. The mission also has set some targets. Okay, so by FY31, that is 2030-31, we need to have at least 1,200 exploration projects and 100 plus auction blocks. Okay, for critical minerals, we need to have at least 100 plus auction blocks by this year. And also, it has provisions for fast tracking all the regulatory approvals to reduce the cumbersomeness of the process, especially for the mining projects. Apart from this, there are also incentives for extracting the minerals, especially for the overburden and tailings. So what is overburden? If you look at the coal mining, okay, there might be soil layer initially, then we have rock layer, and then we can find the coal bed. Okay, so this is nothing but overburden. But the technology right now in India is not feasible to extract mineral from the overburden. However, the latest technology allows for extracting all these trace elements also with efficiency. Then what is tailing? Tailing is nothing but the leftover material, okay, after all the extraction is done. So the leftover material will also have trace elements of the minerals, okay. With the latest technology, we can also extract these elements from the leftover material, that is your tailing. Especially it is important for rare earth elements because they are of high value and they are extremely rare. So tailings can also be put to use by this technology. The mission also encourages foreign acquisitions and trade partnerships. That is, we want to include critical mineral also as an important part of the trade agreements from now on. And it encourages the PSUs and also the private companies to attain some global mineral assets, okay, to acquire these mineral assets. Already we can see the example of Kabil, that is Khanij Bidesh Limited, which has secured lithium reserves in Argentina, okay. Kabil is nothing but a joint venture company by the government of India with 3 companies. One is your NALCO and another is HCL, that is copper, and also MECL, that is Mineral Exploration and Consultancy Limited. They have the ownership of 40%, 30% and 30%. Okay, so that is Khanij Bidesh Limited. To support the technological developments, the mission has some provisions, like it has provisions to set up the mineral processing parks and promote the recycling of the critical minerals. Also, e-waste management rules of 2022 has the provisions for recycling all the e-waste in a sustainable manner. So this policy also supports this circular economy, and it also wants to establish a center of excellence on critical minerals to encourage the research and development in this area because we are lacking all the advanced technologies. The mission also supports patent filing. So that is to create apt incentive structures for innovation and research. It has provision for supporting the patent filing also. So what is the future outlook of this mission? India wants to achieve 100% efficiency in the e-waste recycling, especially the lithium-ion battery recycling. It wants to achieve 100% efficiency, and it also wants to reduce import dependency by 50% with the domestic activities of mining and exploration. And we also want to set up integrated supply chains for 2 things. One is your semiconductor and also e-vehicle battery supply chain. We want to have integrated and self-sufficient supply chains for these 2, because integrated supply chains are nothing but it involves all the production stages, okay, starting from the raw material, component manufacturing, then you have manufacturing of the product and distribution. So this will ensure there will be scale of economy, okay, and this will reduce all the cost. So we want to have integrated supply chain, especially for semiconductor and EV batteries. We can conclude by saying that India's future roadmap includes lot of elements. One is your domestic mining, okay, exploration and global strategic partnerships, okay, and recycling economy, focusing on integrated supply chain development for some critical sectors, and also R&D, okay, encouraging R&D through patent filing. So all these are important elements of the future roadmap. So we can conclude India is working towards becoming a self-reliant leader in the critical minerals by 2040. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Abhiram Ias Academy.